Hi, I'm Ellen Garrett in Denver, Colorado. Welcome to the Knitting for Peace series of tutorials about making peace pals. Today I'm going to show you 3 very easy ways to make cheerful, friendly faces on the pals using just a few stitches. Alright, so here are the supplies you'll need. Your yarns or embroidery floss, a tapestry needle, scissors, ruler or measuring tape, and a small crochet hook. All right, let's look at the first pal. All right, I like to make them after I have made the pal. I've made the arms, the neck, then I can really see how to center the features. So that's the technique I'm going to be showing you today. For this first one, we're going to take about 12 inches of black yarn because you're going to double it up, and we'll just have enough to weave the ends in, and about 9 inches of the white yarn. Okay, these are for the eyes. We'll do the mouth in a minute. All right, so first, double your yarn, knot the end. For each of these features, you're gonna just carefully go in between stitches so you're not splitting the yarns. You just go in at the side of the head between some stitches, and then you're gonna come up at what will be the edge of the first eye. So like that, leave the knot out. You know, experiment with what you like. 2 or 3 stitches wide is usually great. And then a little gap. And then we're going to do the second eye to try to match the width, and then come up again between stitches. All right, take a look. Do you like how that looks? If you don't, you can always back the needle back through and take it out and do it again. But I like the way that looks. So I'm going to cut the yarn. I'm going to make a knot here. And then I like to put all the knots in at the end. So I'll show you how I do that. Cut this off. So those will be inside the head. This technique works really good on the pals with darker brown, medium or dark brown faces, because we don't want to be putting blue yarns on them out of respect for the people who will use and appreciate the pals. People, we want the eyes to look like their eyes would look. All right, so now I have doubled and knotted my white yarn. Choose another spot to go in. Doesn't really matter. Now I'm gonna just make a white line above the black one and go over here and down, back out. How does that look to you? If you don't like it, so a little tip, if you make them slanting this way, they might look a little mad. So to make them look friendly, just make sure the line there is slanting towards the middle. See that difference? And that looks great. So we're gonna cut and knot. Okay. Trim the extra. All right, for the mouth, let's see. You could use pink, orange, or red, whatever you like. Let's use red today, and I will double this because it's a thinner yarn. So that's going to be about a foot. Same technique. Mouths on the pals can be much more complicated, but they don't have to be. I'm going to show you how to make really nice, cheerful smiles with just 2 to 3 stitches. So here I've doubled that again, knotted it. And a good proportion on these little dolls is to make it between the inner edge of the eyes. So here again we go between a stitch. It can also start a little higher than you think it's gonna be. Again, you take a look, take it back out if you don't like it. So here I'm gonna use 3 stitches. It's kind of like an inverted letter C. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. I just go back to where that was. And the third one to kind of match over here. And then take a look. Again, you can always redo them. Just back your yarn back through the hole that you just came in. But if you like it, cut and knot. The knots are just to keep everything very secure. All right, so voila. Now we take our crochet hook, again going in between a stitch. You just go to where that little knot is and pull it inside. Okay, 1. This makes them disappear and then they're very secure inside there. Okay. 2. Kind of make sure the ends are all the way in. And here's 3. See, I'm just pulling it in to make it disappear. Okay. And we'll repeat on the other side. Helping me today is my husband, Paul. Thank you so much. And our dog, Laddie, is also helping. Again, there's many different ways of doing this. Just experiment, see what you like. Okay, so there's pal number 1. You can kind of adjust these eyes a little bit, and she looks great. Okay, next I'm going to show you 2 techniques on baby piece pals. Okay, so remember for the baby piece pals, they're shorter. Here we'll just show you that these are like around 5 inches. They don't need arms. You could put arms on, but these are used in a lot of situations supporting new families. All right, so I think the simplest way to make the eyes on a baby pal is with, I like to use the thinner yarn. I think this will be a single layer, so just maybe 6 or 7 inches. And we're just gonna make 2 stitches for the eyes and 2 stitches for the mouths. Put another knot there. Okay, so again, take a look at your face, kind of center what your features are going to be, go in through between yarns. This is going to be like an upward V, or like a computer caret. We're going to make 2 stitches in this upward V shape. So you can kind of see the shape you're making there. 1, 2. Then go over for the second eye. 1, 2. I'm just being careful here to join right where that stitch ended, and the end of the yarn will be coming out the side here. Okay, now I didn't leave quite enough to knot, but that's all right. That will be able to be pulled in. Okay, now the mouth is gonna just be a V. I like to use this thinner type of yarn, and this can just be, I was gonna show you the measure, maybe 5 to 6 inches will be fine. Oh, here, you could show Laddie. Here's our dog helping. Our sweet dog. Okay. Okay, so again, for this technique, I am not doubling the yarns. It's just a single yarn or embroidery floss. Just a single length knot, go in through the side. This will be about symmetrical with the eyes, maybe a little wider. Again, experiment with different proportions and see what you like. Here we go, 1 stitch, 2nd stitch, out the side. Knot, cut the extra. So just 2 simple stitches for the eyes, a little V shape for the mouth. Is a really cute baby pal. Now go in through between your stitches and pull those knots into the inside of the pal's head. Okay, voila, pal number 2. All right, for the third one, I'll just show a slightly different technique for both the eyes and the mouth. Here's a little tip that I like on the necks. If you use a contrasting yarn and just go over, under, leaving some extra length of yarn, and then do a little chain stitch and twirl them like that, you get these little ties or extra decoration that a baby could play with. All right, so for this one, I'm gonna now double white yarn. So 12 inches of white-ish, and then maybe just about 7 inches of black. This is another eye technique that you can use. So now I'm gonna, the horizontal stitches are gonna be white using this technique. And then we're gonna make a vertical 1 stitch with black. So, all right, here's my face, the pal's face. You're just gonna make a single stitch, but because it's doubled, you'll have these 2 stitches, horizontal, just like we did with the black yarn on the first one. Okay, because it's a baby pal, I'm just covering 1 stitch here. That's just the way I like them, but again, experiment, see what you like. Okay. Cutting and knotting. Okay, you can see the second one was a little bit tight, so with my tapestry needle, I just go in and loosen that, relax that a little bit so it looks better. These extra ends can come off. Now we're going to make 1 vertical stitch across the middle of each of these. Same idea, going in from the side right to the center of your white stitch. And then always being sure to go between stitches in case you need to back up and redo something. And out. Okay, well, what do you think? That one's a little crooked. I think I'll go back and fix that. So just pulling this out, 1, 2, thread. I think a lot of knitting and crocheting is about, you know, undoing some of the stitches and redoing them to make them look even nicer, right? Okay, so now I'll try to go straight down and over here. That looks a little better. Down, over. Knot, cut, and let's review. Okay, so again with this type of eye, I like to just go in and kind of loosen, neaten it up. Those look fine. I think we'll use this pink yarn for the mouth. And I'll show you just a simple third stitch. Oh, let's see, how many inches are we doing here? 9 inches is plenty. Oh. Two knots on this thin floss here. We're gonna do the same type of V that we used on the other pal, and then just add one more little stitch. See what you think of that. In through the side, between stitches. Oh, using this type of eye, I would center the mouth stitches underneath the vertical line, just for symmetry. So here's one stitch. Second stitch, just as we did on that first baby pal. And now I'm just gonna make a horizontal stitch part way, maybe halfway across that first stitch. And it's gonna be coming out here. It just adds a little bit of a different mouth look. See what you think. Kind of like the baby is pursing their lips. Okay. Knot, cut. All right, so my other end of my pink already went inside because I pulled it a little too hard. Let's just make sure it's secure by pulling there. Okay. Pull these to the inside. Take a look. Et voila. All right, so here are 3 different techniques for the eyes. We have horizontal doubled white stitches with a black vertical line, or horizontal black doubled stitches with a white stitch above, or black stitches in a inverted V shape. For the mouths, we have 2 stitches in a V shape, 3 stitches in a kind of sideways C or U shape, and 3 stitches with the V and 1 little line. Here are close-ups of the 3 finished Peace Pals. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. You can look forward to additional tutorials coming soon on how to knit the Peace Pals, all the stages of making it, and how to crochet. And again, thank you so much for making and experimenting with making cheerful faces on Peace Pals for Knitting for Peace. Take care.